thing that absolutely no one was expecting to happen, but has now actually happened, guys. Big breaking news. According to a tweet that has been put out by an official account called the Government of Pakistan, the government of Pakistan has given the Pakistan team permission to participate in the T20 World Cup of 2026. But, and this is a big caveat, the team shall not take the field in the match scheduled on 15th February against India. So Pakistan have done a full-on boycott of the India game. That is the news that we are bringing to you right now.
Well, see, the government of Pakistan, when you look at their official Twitter handle here in India, it's been withheld because of legal reasons after what has happened in Operation Sindoor. But now, this changes the whole equation. Government of Pakistan has given the permission that yes, you can play the T20 World Cup, but they will not take the field against India on 15th. Now, PCB haven't given any communication to the ICC. Yet. Now the government has said, no way, we are not going to give you the permission to play against India on 15th in Colombo. Now, sanctions will come. ICC are going to sanction even Pakistan now. Because you cannot do this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no actual reason, right? So that let's be very fair. Let's look at it from a neutral perspective. How is it that Pakistan can boycott a game against India whilst playing all of their matches in exactly the same venue? There is no actual grounds for a boycott. If you're going to do it in protest, well, then the ICC will, in this case, ask for logical reasons. And when they get no good reasons, well, then they're actually going to say, then, well, we have no choice but to sanction you. Because if you boycott a match or a protest, and that would be true for pretty much any tournament, you are expecting some kind of blowback.
Look, the situation was between BCB and ICC. Pakistan had no locus standi on this.
Exactly.
But this will continue the precedence where in a major ICC event, certain teams are boycotted. For example, England didn't play against Zimbabwe.
Same tournament, New Zealand didn't play against Kenya in Kenya.
Yes.
And of course, 96, Australia, West Indies chose not to travel to Sri Lanka.
But that was, 96 was security reasons.
Exactly, there was an actual reason given there.
Yeah. In 2003, England forfeited the points and that cost them. They couldn't make it to the Super 6 because Zimbabwe went through. New Zealand also, it hurt them in a big way. But there were certain tensions. England and Zimbabwe had bilateral tensions.
Exactly.
New Zealand, that was a flimsy reason why they didn't go to Kenya. They had anticipated a security issue there, so they didn't go.
There was a few months prior to that, there had been a bomb blast in
yes,
Kenya.
In Tanzania and Kenya, there were terror attacks there. But this, already the arrangement was made that you will play a hybrid model situation between India and Pakistan. Now, government of Pakistan, we knew that yes, it would be a bluff that they will play the T20 World Cup. But now they have gone the extra mile and potentially shot themselves in the foot because they are not going to play against India. They'll play against every other team barring India. And that is why now, whatever you are expecting on February 15th, it's now going to be a damn squib at this point in time.
Exactly. So, you're going to see no action, potentially no match that day between India and Pakistan. A match that, of course, is always given top billing. Would have been, considering it's a Sunday, it would have been the last match of the day, 7 o'clock IST start time, to ensure that you're catering to the prime time viewership. Now, as things stand, you're looking at no match. And why is no match happening? Well, because there's no actual reason. For one, let's be very clear. Let's please be done with this whole solidarity thing. This seems like a ploy because in their twisted worldview, their thinking is, and I've seen this thinking, by the way, on social media, that the India-Pakistan match is the match that generates all the revenue for the ICC. If we don't play it, we'll be hurting the ICC, we will hurt India. That's our big win. You know, it's similar to what's happening in the Under-19 World Cup right now, wherein Pakistan are on course to actually win the match. But because they didn't win it in 33.3 overs, they're going to get knocked out.
And even now, they're not even winning that also, if you look at it. But now, see, what is going to happen? Now, government has given reasons. No, you're not going to play. Okay? You will not play, and PCB and ICC will have to go against the government at this point.
They're not going to.
Yeah, and we are joined by Nikhil. Nikhil, this development that has come, was it surprising that yes, they have chosen to boycott only the Pakistan game?
The India
Or do
game.
you think the India game was going to be boycotted? Or do you think this is just a bolt out of the blue that they have gone that extra mile for this?
I'm a bit surprised, actually. I would have to say that this is a bolt out of the blue, simply because I think that Pakistan didn't, or I thought that they were smart enough to understand that the repercussion that will follow if they were to take a call like that. But clearly, they haven't been. I think this is a call that has been taken on a bit of emotion. It's a call that has been taken, I think, keeping in mind the geopolitics of it. It's a call that has been taken by politicians and governments, not someone who has the best interest of Pakistan cricket in mind. So even if I was to look at it from Pakistan's point of view, why would you want to do something where you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot, going forward? Because remember, when you're going to be boycotting the India game, that effectively should rule Pakistan. I mean, can they still make the Super 8s? They could, provided they go on to win the rest of the games.
Yeah.
Because if you take a look at India's group, I think it's only India, Pakistan, right? The rest of them, in a sense, you could say,
although 24,
it was a
Nikhil,
similar scenario that you had where USA then qualified, where Pakistan could not, despite. But then, if you're looking at it from Pakistan's point of view, they may have already written off the India match, because I mean, looking at the form and the result that the two teams have had, the last few years, I think that is something that they would have started off as bad debt. Something that you use in accounts. Bad debt is never going to come back. So that was the bad debt for them, where they were not going to win. So maybe they took that into account. And so from there on, they anyway would have had to win the rest of the games to qualify. So the equation then remains the same for them. So maybe they're looking at it from that point of view. But I don't think it'll end there. I'm just talking it from a cricketing point of view. I don't think it'll end there. This could then lead to souring of relations, which are anyway not great at the moment between India, Pakistan. But they would still go ahead and play on the cricket field, which would ensure that Pakistan also get, decent enough revenue to run their cricket. Now that they're not going to be playing, I think that this is going to be a reciprocal stand going forward that India might be taking. And if no India-Pakistan game, that will hurt the coffers of the ICC. Once it hurts the coffers of the ICC, who's it going to hurt more, India or Pakistan? The simple answer is Pakistan, because majority of their revenue comes from the ICC revenue per se. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference for India in that sense, because majority of India's revenue comes from the IPL as well as bilateral series, and of course. They will continue to get that ICC's major chunk, 38%, I think India commands. That total amount will come back, the ICC revenue, but I think still overall, if anyone who's going to be hurt, it is going to be Pakistan cricket. So just answering your question, I think it has come as a surprise. But as I said, I think this is a call taken by Mohsin Naqvi, not keeping Pakistan cricket in mind. I think it's a call taken by the politician Mohsin Naqvi and the individual Mohsin Naqvi. Politician, because I think, they're trying to extend a hand towards Bangladesh. And maybe this gesture will kind of, they feel, strengthen their relationship. In that sense, they have an ally going forward, if, to fight in their language the common enemy, that will be India. So I think there's a bit of geopolitics. As an interior minister, he's trying to extend a hand of friendship towards Bangladesh, or probably showing them that we are with you, and he thinks this will go a long way in getting that on track. And I think secondly, also because of what really happened at the Asia Cup, where I think he felt humiliated when the Indian team refused to take the trophy from him, that, and then the Indian team refusing to shake hands and adding on to all of that. So I think he took it as a personal hit as well, and keeping the geopolitics in mind. And I don't know how that is going to pan out. I'm not an expert in geopolitics, but I think in cricketing terms, the simplest way to put this is they've dug a hole for themselves, shot themselves in the foot, because from here on, Pakistan cricket will have a real tough time going forward.
Nikhil, now
I'm going to take your leave and join you back in 2 minutes, because I'm just sorting a few other things. So you guys carry on, but I'm joining you in 5 minutes.
Sure. So now, as Nikhil clearly mentioned in this update that we've got, This is a clear ego tussle that Mohsin Naqvi and the Pakistan, the politician, as he rightfully mentioned, not the PCB head, not the ACC chairman, the politician Mohsin Naqvi has struck.
I mean, see, we've been talking about it for a while, right? That geopolitics as a whole is pretty much sullying the sport of cricket in the subcontinent. I think it's safe to say now you've reached that point where we talk about sports and politics not being involved in the sport of cricket. Politics is the reason why Bangladesh are not travelling to the T20 World Cup. Politics is also the reason why Pakistan have felt the need to do what it is they're doing. I mean, from a sporting perspective, as I said, or as all of us were pointing out, it makes no sense. There is no actual logic. This is not going to hurt the India team or the Indian board in any way, shape or form. Most of our revenue as it is comes from the IPL and bilateral home series, and I say that in that order because if you look at the numbers, if you do some number tallying, the IPL is responsible for a huge chunk of it. So take away that one match and there's no major difference. India is still taking home 39% of the ICC revenue that's generated. They'll be fine. Pakistan, on the other hand, this is the same Pakistan where recently they had a couple of expansion franchises for the PSL sold, and the Hyderabad franchise sold for a few crores. It was a single-digit crore number. It reached a point where even Wasim Akram was caught laughing at it, saying, "यार इतने ही पैसे हैं, अरे are we sure कि कुछ पैसे बचे हैं या नहीं?" So that is the situation. The money generated by the PSL and by their home tours is in no way, shape or form comparable to what India is generating by themselves. Yeah. They are reliant on ICC money, that's a fact. And this way, what they've done is pretty much ensure that there's going to be some form of sanctions. We don't know what. We know the potential sanctions because I remember covering it on this channel. You had covered it in a video, separate video. But I mean, they could just take a tougher route. You don't know.
Look, the sanctions that we had done at that point in
Which
time
were the sanctions? Threatened.
Yeah, the sanctions were threatened if they withdrew from the T20 World Cup entirely. Okay, the sanctions included de-recognition of the PSL when it comes to their commercial and, if you want to look at it, as a league. Okay, but no bilateral recognition to any series involving Pakistan. Suspension from the Asia Cup. Those were the three major things that was there, and share of the revenue would go away. Currently, Pakistan has 5.75% when it comes to the ICC revenue pie. Now, that will get impacted.
Big time.
Big time. Now, let us look at the timeline, okay? As Nikhil pointed out, right from the Asia Cup. Mohsin Naqvi was humiliated. It was to happen. No handshake in all the three games. Had to happen.
There was no trophy taking from him.
There was no trophy taking from him. He ran away with the trophy. Now, we are talking about geopolitics, okay? In an ideal world, politics should not have come in this particular thing at all. Politics should not have come in this particular sport because sport and politics cannot match at this point in time.
Absolutely.
But no one can forget Pahalgam.
No one can forget Pahalgam.
No one can forget the Sindoor. No one can forget the atrocities that have been committed against the minorities in Bangladesh. Okay. No one in India is doing a thing about it. Okay. Let's make one thing very clear here. Through cricket, you made a political statement. Asia Cup was the pinnacle of that. ICC events, not just Asia Cup, ICC. Women's World Cup, there was no handshake. In the Under-19 World Cup, there was no handshake. With this, you have weaponized the sport in Asia, but the problem is in South Asia, the dynamics and the politics are such, this had to happen.
I mean, you're looking at it from that regard, lest we forget, this entire thing has been triggered by Mustafizur Rahman, not by him directly, but by the fact that the BCCI instructed Kolkata Knight Riders, who had acquired his services in the IPL auction, that was release him.
But here I will also blame our Indian administrators.
No, of course. That's what I'm saying. I know this will fly under the radar because there'll be a lot of people who will naturally make fun of Pakistan for doing what they're doing, which is entirely fair. But Siddharth, we've been no better when it comes to this. That's a fact.
It is a fact. It's a fact.
We have all contributed to this decline of relations, bilaterally or otherwise, and now it's reached a point where it is impacting international tournaments. I mean, see, my biggest worry for this is not the fact that Pakistan will play each other less. I couldn't care less if they play in bilaterals. but you should have at least kept it that civil that you play each other in multilateral tournaments. Why now? Because lest we forget, cricket is an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
2028, you're going to see cricket make its debut, or return rather, I dare say, in the Olympics after more than a century. Right?
124 years later.
Yes. The problem is that now, I mean, can you imagine the IOC looking at the sport being managed this way and wanting to take it forward? Supposing, for instance, it even makes it to 2028 at this point in time. It's been ratified, but we've seen the IOC take strict action. Boxing was a sport that suffered because there was no one unilateral government or governing body that was taking care of it. Set boxing out.
Yeah.
And boxing is a far more global sport, all due respect, than what cricket is. If boxing could be kicked out, a sport that has spawned multiple legacy moments in the World Cup, what is cricket? No one is looking at the bigger picture here. It is, at this point, it is all about national pride. And in that sense, you've ruined the sport. Let's be fair.
You ruined the sport, exactly. And it was again foolishness to club India and Pakistan in the same group. Why? Why do you want to club India, Pakistan in the same group for your fake marketing, for your fake advertising, for your fake TRPs, for your fake revenue? Why do you want to do this?
Every single time, Siddharth. Every single time. We made a mockery of it even on our channel multiple times, saying that at this point in time, there's no seeding or there's no sort of an order to any of these groups. It's just, okay, lads, India, Pakistan in one group and let's take the rest of it from here.
Right.
That's how they work.
You know, I want to just tell people, okay, we have to blame Pakistan, we have to blame Bangladesh, okay, for the way how they have maintained relationships with us, okay. Number one, you want to have deliberate tensions against us because of your foolhardiness and because of your delusion. We want bad rubbish out. And I'm glad that Bangladesh are out because they are in a delusion by itself. We ideally should have wanted Pakistan also out, and that is why I insisted days before the Asia Cup that we shouldn't play Pakistan. Because after Pahalgam, the entire narrative has changed. You can't play any kind of relations. You can't have any sporting relations with a rogue terrorist nation. But we, the Indian administrators, are also to blame. Because you take a strong nationalist stance against cricket. But then you allow our beach volleyball team to play Pakistan during Operation Sindoor. You allow the Davis Cup team to travel to play Pakistan. Why? Why only pick cricket? And even here, the whole Mustafizur conundrum was done because government, BCCI all operated in their convenient bubble. You knew.
If you didn't know, Siddharth, even if you didn't, for instance, let's assume for 1 second, by the way, that no one had an idea what the ground reality was. Then you could have either taken a strong stance and said, okay, we're not going to let cricket and politics intermingle. Let it be. We took this stance. But you panicked. Your one bit of panic has set off a chain of events. I mean, there's so many terms for it. It's like a butterfly effect or a domino effect. All of it is true because that one thing has set across a chain of events that has now led to this. A T20 World Cup that, let's be fair, people are caring about more for the off-field drama than what you're supposed to be getting on the field. Exactly. I mean, let's be fair, this is a T20 World Cup where, in truth, if I'm an Indian fan, I'm looking forward to it for two reasons. One, because it's a home World Cup. Second, India are one of the favourites. Actually, three reasons. Third, you could very well become the first team to retain the T20 World Cup because your team is really that strong. But all we can focus on, and actually, truth be told, all we are forced to focus on due to the farcical circumstances is Bangladesh, will they or will they not boycott? Pakistan, will they or will they not boycott? Oh, they decided to do halfway house. We are going to boycott, but we're not going to boycott, but we'll not play the India game. And sport at this point in time, the beautiful sport of cricket has been reduced to an absolute joke.
It is a joke, and it's not been helped by the fact that there has been miscommunication at so many ends. What forced this government, what forced our administrators to play Pakistan in the Asia Cup?
And then there also, Siddharth, you were having your cake and eating it.
Exactly.
Because you played them, but then you'll not, or rather than try and be businesslike about it, you'll make a hue and cry about the fact that we didn't shake their hands.
And for your fake nationalism, your fake nationalism came while you wanted to play Pakistan. Now look at the humiliation that is going on. We don't want Pakistan, simple. But look at now what they have done. You've given them the platform like, okay, we will now not want to play against India. So yes, 2 points given. Great.
No problem.
Great, no issues. But we wanted India to do that by not even playing the Asia Cup, because what that would have happened, Asia Cup would have gone into irrelevancy.
Anyway, the tournament, if you ask me, an Asia Cup would make sense in cricket if you had other continental sort of things. If you had, say, a European Championship taking place or an African Championship taking place, something. You only have an Asia Cup. And truth be told, I don't think people care about it, because you've reached a point now where people pick and choose what they care about, especially with an ICC tournament taking place every year. No one, except the maybe hardest of die-hard fans, will follow every single bilateral event that takes place. Bilaterals are already being watered down. And a tournament like the Asia Cup has also been significantly watered down for one simple reason. Asian teams have by and large been facing decline. Who are the giant teams you had? You had at one point, you were guaranteed that India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan were all strong teams. And you could have a Bangladesh who maybe cause an upset. Bangladesh have not evolved since 2000s. Pakistan have declined. Sri Lanka have declined. India have raced so far ahead that it's not even a competition anymore.
Yeah.
When Sri Lanka won the T20 Asia Cup in 2022, that was big news. For that simple reason, no one was expecting them to do it.
Yeah. But the myopic nature of what has happened with this Pakistan move, okay? For Pakistanis who are deluded, you think you have achieved a victory.
But you haven't.
Not just that. You have not hurt India or ICC. You know who you have hurt?
Yourselves.
No. Sri Lanka. Whatever money you could have gotten from that India-Pakistan and
the gate revenue and all
whatever was the broadcasting, and whatever, one part of it would have gone to Sri Lanka. Now, what harm did Sri Lanka do to you?
In fact, there you further muddied the waters, because at what we were saying that, at this point in time, there's animosity between India and Pakistan. There is animosity between India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh and Pakistan therefore have a slightly uneasy alliance, which I call an uneasy alliance for a reason. Anyone with a basic idea of the geopolitics of those two nations will understand why it is an uneasy alliance. Sri Lanka were the only team really that didn't seem to have a problem with anyone. And now you've gone and taught them in the crosshairs for no reason. Yeah. They will also be feeling bad, right? That, listen, that match would have been the one match guaranteed to sell out. You would have had an insane number of fans there. It would have done wonders not only for the cricket ground, it would have boosted the tourism to the country. It would have done a lot. Now what? Nothing. Indian fans will also be potentially not traveling for that match. Pakistan fans will definitely not be traveling. You hurt them for no reason.
Yeah, you may be playing 2 games in Sri Lanka, but it's against Namibia and USA, for crying out loud.
Who cares?
Who cares for that? So that is why Pakistan can all chest beat, because they are blissfully unaware of what they have done, okay? And they'll all be taking, look at how we brought the Indian Cricket Council to its knees, because now they call it the Indian Cricket Council.
But you haven't.
But boss, listen, 125 crores, okay? That is what you generated, and that is what has happened over 20 years of India-Pakistan games, okay? ICC events or whatever be that case, 125 crores, okay? Last time, you have not made the figures public. Yes, you had 1 billion in ticket sales for the Champions Trophy, okay? But boss, I am incredibly sorry to inform you, all what you say, all the numbers that we are quoting you at this point in time, whatever numbers you may have fudged, it's irrelevant. You are not hurting us. By this boycott, we want bad rubbish out, and let it be. You gave everybody a chance to shoot in the foot, and by God, Pakistan, thank you.
Themselves.
Thank you that you have ensured you shot yourself in the foot. So now, whatever has happened with Pahalgam, it's now certified. Whatever happened in Pahalgam now, you cannot remove that knot from sports anymore between India and Pakistan. And now Mustafizur will be feeling what Basil de Oliveira felt in 1968. One man's exclusion saw South Africa getting isolated for 22 years, and he was playing for England from South Africa. Now Bangladesh, no sanctions have been announced against them. They've just been replaced.
And in their case, see, they won't be sanctions for one simple reason, sir. They pulled out of the entirety of the tournament. So they said that, look, the Bangladesh Cricket Board said that our government is forbidding us from playing. So if you guys don't want to move our matches, then we have no choice but to pull out. Pakistan are taking a halfway house kind of stance. Ki, oh, we'll play all the games except for the India game. Well, good luck then, boss. Now you're going to be hit with sanctions because there's no reason. I can understand if the India game was taking place in India, the rest of your matches were taking place in Sri Lanka, and you were boycotting it as a security this thing. But that's not the case. That's not the case. All your matches are being played in Sri Lanka. So it just, as I said, for me, I'm not even looking at it from an India-Pakistan this thing anymore. As a sports fan, first and foremost, I'm looking at it and saying, what is happening to our sport here?
It's gone to the pits at this point in
Absolutely.
time. It's in the pits. For the one simple reason that, yes, India did not even take a firm stance when you had to deal with Pakistan when it comes to all sports. Pulwama happened, you wanted to chest thump and say we will beat you on the field.
And you played that match
And you played that game.
2019. Yeah.
Now, Pahalgam happened and even grislier incident happened. How morally and how could you look yourself into the mirror that you wanted to play Pakistan? Yaar? How on earth can you even think about it? But we had to play. Now that our government said we will play, we had to follow what the government had to do. And I blame the government, I blame our administrators for ensuring that this situation also took place. It's their doing also, for one simple reason. Couldn't the government, if they had the benefit of foresight, the Bangladesh situation was nothing new. It was going on for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
3-4 months. Couldn't the MHA and the government had given an advisory, if there was an advisory, please do not pick Bangladesh players in the auction pool.
Exactly.
What forced them to not give that one line of communication to the franchisees and the BCCI?
And you didn't even need to do it publicly, Siddharth. It should have
Backdoor
just been done
channels.
subtly. Exactly. Please don't tell me that there could have been no communication, because I refuse to believe that KKR, the franchise, out of their own volition, suddenly decided to release Mustafizur Rahman.
Yeah.
Come on.
Once the horse was bolted, you then decided to put pressure on the owner of the horse.
Exactly.
Okay. When the horse is bolted, when everything has happened, when there is so much of raita and syapa that you have done at this point in time, you then jump into action and tell KKR, don't pick Mustafizur.
Yeah, release him. You've picked him, no problem. Out he goes.
You had 7 Bangladeshi players. You didn't pick 6, but you decided to pick Mustafizur for 9.2, and without any clear direction also. So they had to pick. They had every right to pick.
They had every right to pick, because again, I would have been saying this if it was DC who got him. I would have been saying this if it was CSK who got him. It is not the franchise's fault. Were they informed? No, they weren't informed. If they were informed, you won't see 3 franchises going for him like that.
Yeah.
Not a chance you would have been seeing that.
You know, it is like you've got relations, I mean, you don't have any relations between Iran and Israel, but in an Israeli Premier League, you're forced to pick Iranian players. It's like that. Our government, our administrators, our IPL, GC, our BCCI did not have any foresight whatsoever. So how on earth could you hold that, oh, it was only Mustafizur's fault? But yes, the broader 360 degrees is Bangladesh and the interim government under Dr. Mohammad Yunus has been responsible for the breakdown in the situation in Bangladesh and India. It is their fault. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, it only started big time once the Sheikh Hasina government was disposed.
Yeah.
And I won't say replaced, because that would be factually lying about what happened. It was a deposition, a forceful deposition, a bloody coup that happened, that actually led to a lot of people actually rioting. It led to politicians having to flee.
Yeah.
So that was not a bloodless coup, it was the opposite. It was a bloody coup.
Yes.
It was a coup that was very publicly done. And now the current government has also taken a very anti-India stance, because of course Sheikh Hasina has gotten asylum in the nation. So it has actually, we know the political situation has not been anything close to ideal. So in the midst of all of that, when you know this, lest we forget, we're talking about, oh, but the situation flared up randomly suddenly. No, it didn't. You cancelled or postponed the bilateral series. You did. Lest we forget, in 2025, you were supposed to play a white ball series, which included ODIs and T20s. You did not play that because, quite frankly, you didn't actually, you knew the situation at that point in time.
You knew it, and that is why, see, now the problem is, I want the ICC to take serious action this time. But all this was so unnecessary at this stage. It was so unnecessary. It could have only helped had we not played Pakistan. And again, the foolishness of the ICC to club them in the same group. Why? Why do you want to do it? And now you are again scrambling to ensure, we give this press release, we are going to do this, that Pakistan will be replaced by Uganda or something, although I don't think that will happen because they haven't boycotted the entirety of the T20 World Cup. The only thing is, points will be deducted, and later on, going in ICC events, they won't be clubbed in the same group anymore, and maybe your revenue will then be slashed. That is the only thing.
Let's now also take a look at what it is our family members have had to say on this. Let's start off because I can see a lot of you have been joining us on this stream. Vishal 9925 says, sports and politics always mix, but now it's overdone. Never liked team boycotts. Either play the match or don't enter the tournament. Simple. I agree. But
the nature of the world is such. If you think sports and politics shouldn't mix, then we would never have had the...
He's saying it always mixes.
Yeah.
He's saying now though it's reached a point where it's overdone, which I agree with.
But luckily weren't in the 80s. 80s, you would remember in the Cold War, NATO nations boycotted Moscow Olympics. Warsaw Pact nations boycotted 84 Olympics. Because of simple. Another third world. You think Mustafizur was the third party in that? In that was Afghanistan. Because Russia invaded Afghanistan in 1979, NATO nations decided we won't play. And 84. Actually, in the 50s and the 80s, the situation was far more volatile, Vishal. Let me tell you one thing. Sports and politics always brings. It's overdone. Check out 56. 56 Olympics was the most overdone when it came to politics. Why? Russia's, USSR revolution, and that happened in Hungary. Hungary-USSR relationships. Suez crisis. Iraq was involved in the Suez crisis. So that's why war had played even a role there also. So yes, either play the match or don't enter tournament at all. Simple. I agree. Don't play the tournament.
Exactly.
But with India, Pakistan, politics will intervene at this point.
Always. Samir Singh says that India beats Pakistan in the Under-19 World Cup. Pakistan did not even make an attempt to qualify for the semis. What an intelligent decision. You know what? I know you're being sarcastic, but I wholeheartedly agree with you. It looked like they were only playing for a win on this particular day. Because they not once did it look like they were even thinking or contemplating of trying to chase it down in 33.3 overs. At all.
It was not possible. Let's make one thing very clear.
Even if it wasn't possible, Siddharth,
they didn't even go for it.
Yeah, it would have made the win a hollow win.
Yeah.
Let's be frank. It was a hollow win if they got it. But, insult to injury, not only did they not try, they've also not...
They have not won. So that's why your semi-final lineups are confirmed. It's India versus Afghanistan, the first semi-final. Australia versus England then in the second semi-final that's going to happen. Scroll down. Ashish Dhar, let's see what he said. Pakistan under-19 felt beating India is more important than Cup. It was foolishness.
I agree there. And it's so stupid. Because again, you had to win the tournament. You had to win the match by that margin to not only beat India but also make it to the semis. If you won that match in 50 overs, it mattered little. Moral victory.
It reminded me of a particular situation, okay? One doctor takes a patient to his brother who's also a doctor, okay? He's like wondering what needs to be done. Later on that patient tells his brother, you are the best doctor that you've had because he didn't give me the medicines. The brother then asked, the older brother is angry. Oh, thank you for stealing my patient. The younger brother reminded him, hello, you are also a doctor. Why didn't you use your prescription pad? He's like, oh my God, in my panic, I forgot. Pakistan under-19 wouldn't have been a statement of intent if you not only had beaten India, but you had actually won in 33.4. Because if you had beaten India, they were still qualifying for the semi-final.
Exactly. Once it was 33.4 overs being played, the semi-finals were done and dusted.
If Pakistan ever had brains, they would never have resorted to this thing. But I'm sorry, thinking Pakistan having brains is a cardinal sin at this time.
In fact, as Samir Singh also rightly points out, something we've been discussing a lot, today might be the final nail in the coffin as far as Pakistan cricket is concerned. I agree.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because the world is better off without rubbish like Pakistan and Bangladesh. I'm sorry. They have to be called out for what they are. Because they are really ensuring that they drag it and unnecessarily wanting to get themselves so that they remain relevant. So Pakistan government, I think you may have done the world a favor by actually not playing against India. So yes, spare me those cringe ads that are going on in the broadcaster at this point in time because they are not learning. As I said, अपने ही घर में खोट है यार. Broadcasters, government officials, They are our own worst enemies, the government in particular, because they have never pandered to the people of India.
Yeah,
Let's make one thing clear.
that's what Dhanush is saying. It's kind of an extension of the point you're making, where he says that Pakistan has boycotted the T20 World Cup game against India, but India played against Pakistan in the mighty Asia Cup tournament. We as Indians must be proud of this.
That is what you allowed your greed to ensure that you never respected the victims of Pahalgam. You can do all the things. Oh, armed forces background, we'll not do this. The captain will wax platitudes and all that. But hello, if you really believed in the patriotism of and if our government really believed in the patriotism of the country, you shouldn't have played Pakistan. So what? 1 year your revenue would have been slashed from 38 to 30. Big deal.
It wouldn't have even been that much.
Big
Wouldn't have
deal.
even been that much. The Asia Cup is a whole different kettle of fish, and I don't think it's a profitable tournament.
It isn't.
Yeah.
Rajat Agarwal saying, now India will go to Sri Lanka to play Pakistan in semi or final.
Neither will happen because Pakistan won't make it to the semi or final.
One hypothetical question. Will Pakistan have the spine
To boycott a semi or a final.
if it is India?
That'll be funny.
That time I will be wondering, yes, if you want to make a hollow statement like boycotting a pathetic league game, do it if you have the guts Pakistan in a semi-final or a final. Then I will tell you like, okay, you're kind of walking the walk and talking the talk.
Okay, because if you boycotted a knockout match, then you're really drawing the line and saying, no, our national pride matters.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then we'll know that this was just a hollow gimmick. Anyway,
It is a
let's
hollow
see.
gimmick anyways. Now, Ranjan Bhattacharya saying from Europe, it's a sad, but we aren't living in an ideal world. It isn't.
It's not an ideal world at all, but I think, see, there have been, let's also be fair, there have been mistakes made on every side. And as I keep saying, and I will continue to say, the biggest loser in all of this is our sport.
Yeah. So that is the point. Look, now for people who are joining us, let us make one thing very clear here, okay? We cannot access government of Pakistan here in India because it's been withheld due to a legal demand after the impact of Operation Sindoor, okay? Because Pakistan government was peddling lies at that time, and that was parroted by a lot of Pakistani social media handles. That's why about 60-70% of them are blocked in the country. So we can't. We've gotten this information from other sources, and it has now been confirmed with all certainty that yes, Pakistan government has given them permission to play in the T20 World Cup.
But
February 15th, India versus Pakistan is not going to be there, and that is why Pakistan has supported Bangladesh, but in a very quasi way. You'll play against USA, you'll play against Namibia, but you will not play against India. You've not hurt us, you've not hurt the ICC, you've hurt Sri Lanka. Because they have lost out on this particular bit at this point in time. And Desmond Haynes, let's look at it.
It says, Shane, I actually appreciate Naqvi. I was thinking he's doing fake drama all these days like the Asia Cup fiasco, but at least he did something. However, he missed to estimate who will be the loser in the end. Handshakes, quote unquote. So basically what he's saying is that they are the biggest losers, which is true.
Look, who is the biggest loser? We will come to find out only after the ICC gives an official statement. Okay, what are the sanctions that they do? I mean, Sunil Gavaskar, who's currently speaking to us exclusively, he has said that ICC must punish Pakistan if they have boycotted, and that is the whole situation. And GGK is saying, Shane,
sport is not ruined. Pak had no effect on international cricket anyway. Banned from ICC, we can make Asia Cup as Afro Asia Cup as no, you're not understanding. I understand your humor, but these sort of things will have a long-term impact. You will not see it now, but long-term, the sport is going to get hampered by this political posturing that is taking place on all sides, and I will stand by.
And GGK, one more thing. The Afro Asia Cup that was there was also a disaster.
Exactly.
You had it in 2007, but it involved players from South Africa and Zimbabwe primarily. But in Asia, you had India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh together. Can't happen, boss. Can't happen. Either the standard of cricket that is in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia is so low, they won't be able to compete with the Asian nations. Only South Africa, but then...
That's it, actually. Not Zimbabwe, and certainly not Namibia or Uganda.
Yeah, freaking awesome is saying talking about Pakistan is a waste of time and energy. Like how we ignore certain people in social media. Better we ignore them. No use in beating the dead snake.
I agree. But unfortunately, it's our jobs also to talk to you guys about news.
It is... We don't want Nautanki. We are not entertainment journalists. But we have been forced to do this because Pakistan have done Nautanki every single time.
Let's take 1-2 more comments before we call it.
I think we'll be joined by Nikhil very shortly.
Then let's take a couple more streams.
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore Mohammad Yasir because, truth be told, I don't want to. Really don't want to give any. No, don't give it. Don't give it.
Let's not even.
Bleach P3653 says that the last time the Pak government decided to boycott India, they ended trade relations with India in 2019. We know how Pakistan's economy is doing after that decision. Now the same will happen to their cricket. That's the funny thing.
I hope so it happens to their cricket because see, anyway, their cricket at this point, the PSL is about 1/10,000th or the 1 lakh of the IPL at this point in time. Their one franchisee is 1/3 of a government, this thing. So I am sorry, I mean, 1/3 of one franchisee of player. I mean, if one Hyderabad franchisee was 9 lakhs, crores, 9 crores, Rishabh Pant is 27 crores. 1/3 of it. So that is why this is a really bad situation at this point in time as far as this
we'll also take a couple more comments whilst you listen. So Jaswinder Singh Narula asks a very funny thing. What if USA beat Pakistan again?
Well, if USA beats Pakistan, then again, good riddance to bad rubbish. That's all I will say. Good riddance. Because see, unfortunately, it is Pakistan who are themselves to blame for this whole fiasco. Your nation doesn't do anything good for the world apart from exporting terrorism. That's it. Your terrorist rogue nation does only this every single time. You want poor relations with India. But there is a problem even here. Our government can't take a strong stance. That is the problem. Our government can't take a strong stance. So that's why you're in this situation. Well done to us, but well done to you as well. So
the only losers, as I keep saying, cricket.
Fans.
And fans.
People who have got nothing to do with all these kind of things, who are just innocent people who want to see only cricket. They have been robbed. But anyway, where do all the governments and boards worry about fans? They don't care. We are getting money through broadcasters. Broadcasters are keeping us happy. That's it. So in that sense, Jaswinder Singh Narula, good riddance if USA beats them, but I don't think...
It will be very fun if that happens.
Yeah.
Although I don't think you'll get those. No, you might actually. US will be playing Pakistan in Colombo.
Sri Lanka, yeah. But again, Pakistan have the... And today they blanked South Africa, Australia 3-0 here. They blanked them. So that is why I don't think this is going to be very...
Scroll down.
Yeah.
A couple more whilst we're at it. Yeah. Let's see. Siddharth says... best news, slightly down, slightly lower. Yeah, thanks. Siddharth says, best news. Hope this makes all decision makers in India feel embarrassed and also exposes the ICC's cheap economics. Make the groups wisely and rescue our sports remaining sanctity. I agree.
Please. This pathetic arrangement that was there, that you have to play India, Pakistan in the same group and in every World Cup and in every ICC event, let it end.
Please, I really hope it's done.
End it now.
I'm so tired now. I think this has been a practice ever since 2014. They play
2011.
No, but 2011 you played them in the knockouts.
Knockouts. You played them in 2012. You played them in 2013.
I think it was
Group.
Yeah.
2013 you played in group.
Yeah.
2014 you played in group. 2015 you played in group. 16 you played in group. 17 group and final.
Yeah.
19 group. 21 group, 22 group, 23 group, 24 group, 25 group. Look at this, yaar. This is the fallacy of the whole thing, which is why stop India, Pakistan and ICC events in the same group, for crying out loud.
Yeah, in fact, I like what Ajib Agarkar, again, one of my favorite usernames on this channel, is saying. Why did they play today's match? Very good question. If they had to boycott, why didn't they boycott today's match? Also save us the trouble.
But actually, when did the Pakistan government make the decision?
Yeah, in the middle of the match.
But
terrible.
Yeah, but then I think they made it after 33.4, when they knew they were not going to qualify for the semi-finals. I think that they were waiting for this. So Ajib Agarkar, even I agree. Why do you have to play? But yes, now the next step will be ICC will now take cognizance. BCCI have got nothing to do with this. Let's not take it. Oh, what will BCCI do? BCCI just the host.
BCCI will not do anything. This is ICC versus the PCB.
Yeah. So, Ruki Taki, I will not take that.
We're not going to take that. It's funny, but we're not going to take that.
Can't. Sandy is saying, India might is great. Don't worry. PCB and Pakistan will know within a year what they have done to themselves.
Exactly.
They won't know. That's the sad part. They will live in that delusion and they live in that fake nationalism that they have got at this point in time. And GGK is saying this is best news. Hope Pakistan don't turn around and play on February 15th. I hope not. I really hope not. And Enigma, as an Indian, I am ashamed that we didn't boycott and they did. Who cares how much sanction they get? They showed guts. You know, that's the sad reality of it. I just wished that we, in a very, low-key Asia Cup, we should have boycotted it, yeah.
Yeah. Asia Cup, you should have boycotted. That made no sense.
Now, Pakistan, what I expected India to do, they have done it. Boycotted an ICC event. One match that too. So, I just don't understand at this point in time. And why do you have to? That's what Michael Kopishk is saying. Why do you have to play? I have often wondered, why do we have to play? That's the thing. So, I am sorry. This is a very, very sorry situation that we have got at this point in time.
Scroll slightly down. I want to take the comment from the great Sachin Tendulkar. He says, question, does the ICC wait for the PCB to communicate formally or take any decision? ICC can't act basis a tweet or media conference, right? Do they communicate just before the match? Well, Sachin, that's interesting you mention it.
I thought you would know Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah, but right now what the ICC have said is that we've not actually received any official communication yet. So this is basically just the announcement from the Pakistan government that we have given them the clearance. Now it is down to the PCB to communicate this and take this forward with the ICC. However, I don't imagine this being an easy conversation because the ICC will straight up ask one question: why? It cannot possibly be a case of security. You're not even playing in India. If it's solidarity, well then good for you, but then we're going to hit you with the book.
We are going to hit you with the book, and boy, oh boy, I hope they do. I hope they do, because India versus Pakistan in the T20 World Cup, which we are all thinking it would be on shaky ground again, that no handshake drama, again all
It's
of
done.
that. Now, there is no handshake drama, forget there's no match.
Forget handshake drama?
Yeah.
There's not even a game to look forward to.
ICC now will have to come up with severe sanctions at this point in time. And freaking awesome. Sid sir, as you know, Lahore wicket has been like that. It's a winning the toss and bat first. But sadly, Australia have not won the toss single time. It's hard to chase that. Freaking awesome. Who cares about Lahore, yaar? Who cares about that no good match that happened?
Yeah, I don't
There is a situation that has developed here and you are worried about what is Lahore at this point in time. Freaking awesome. Please stick to what has happened here. We don't care about that, whatever that abomination of a pitch is in Lahore at this stage. Please, I mean, this is like you are worried about a immaterial game in all places, Lahore.
I mean, it's actually now it's speaking as a very irrelevant game because there's no World Cup for them to look forward to.
Oh, I don't care about all this here. I mean, you're worried about Lahore. Lahore of all places where we are not going to have any match at this stage.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, let's go and take some other comments here. Oof. This is next level. What happened in Lahore? Damn it. Yeah, please. Let's go down. Okay. Siddharth is saying, I'm a nationalist, but here I will say the truth. The current health of cricket is so bad. The reason is it's controlled, manipulated by subcontinental countries. No idea of sport, just politics.
I won't say no idea of sport, but I do agree with what you're saying in the sense that now it is so controlled by politicians that sporting governance is practically non-existent at this point in time. You're not seeing sporting governance. And obviously, I think, I don't know, Siddharth, what your age is per se, but I've grown up in an era, I mean, Siddharth would also know it, although he's a few years older than me, but we've seen that era whereby you saw good sports governance take precedence. You've seen a Dalmia and, prior to that, the late Ayaz Bindra. All of these people actually try and take the sport forward first and foremost. Yes, they also wanted Indian cricket to shine, but it was never at the expense of the sport. Here, it's not even about a case of Indian cricket shining. It is a political battle. That's exactly what it is. It's less cricket, because if this were purely sport, the winners and losers would be decided on the field. But that's not happening.
It won't happen. It won't happen. And Pawan, have you got any input as to... Okay, because we were told that we will be joined by Nikhil very shortly. But we'll wait for another 5 minutes and then we will just take a couple of comments more. Let's see. Pakistan should be kicked out of World Cup now, Keshav was saying.
I doubt that will happen, but I think, they could be hit with bigger sanctions.
See, I think now points definitely gone. Revenue definitely will be curtailed in the next cycle when you look at it. But apart from that, what all will happen, I have no clue at this point in time. That only the ICC should point at this point in time.
And I like what is it? No, sorry, I missed it. Yeah, it was Berserk saying, we've already done a live on this, but we can take it. He says that off topic, but did you catch the Australian Open final? It was sad as a Novak fan. He's not going to win a Grand Slam ever again. Also, Carlos getting the career Grand Slam, being the youngest, is crazy. Berserk, there's actually a full-on discussion that Siddharth and I did. It's in our live section. You can check it out. And we've discussed in great detail about this match because, it was crazy. And I will agree that it was sad to watch if you're a Novak fan, because Novak is looking mortal. I haven't seen that happen in a while. But since the last year, it's sadly become commonplace.
It is. Very sadly.
Scroll down further. I think Indian supporter has something I'd want to take just very slightly. Let's see. He said that it was what every Indian wanted. Said you also said during the Asia Cup that if India is mighty, they should isolate Pak in cricket, and eventually that is happening. But again, see, the thing is
it getting isolated the way we want to?
No, you're ruining the sport this way. Sad reality. I will stick with that. You are ruining the sport.
You know what? I mean, see, Indian supporter, what I wanted India to do. You are the financial powerhouse. What stops you from just blocking Pakistan everywhere? You had your financial clout, you have got the member nations on your side. What is stopping you from imposing such severe sanctions on Pakistan that they never recover? But it is not happening. Now we have to wait for a patient game of backroom diplomacy to ensure that this will happen.
And it's not even like diplomacy in a traditional sense, it's laughable. Let's be fair.
It is laughable at this point. So that is the thing. But Ashish Dar, no, I cannot take that because as we have said, we want to be hyper nationalistic, but we can't be. Because then we will fall right into the trap that is set by Pakistan. Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that is the thing at this point. So yeah.
We can call it quits.
We can call it quits, I would suppose. Because
big news, guys. Obviously, it required a lot of talk from you, and we appreciate you joining us on this live stream as well. So that, take it away.
Yeah, so yes, we can't, I don't know, I think the under-19 match has also ended, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it has actually. It has. India won that match.
Oh, so yes, that is the thing by, what an epic collapse at this point in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, India versus Afghanistan, that's going to take place and in the semi-final, and it'll be Australia versus England in the other semi-final. I think it's on Feb 3 and Feb 5, if I'm not mistaken, and then Feb 6th, I think there is the final that's there. So whoever wins that, go down, right down. Yes. Feb 4th and Feb 3, Feb 6th is the final. So yeah, correct. That is what we are going to see now. And yep, India versus Pakistan. Whoever wanted to book their tickets in Colombo, don't. It's done. No more game
the match
there.
Isn't happening.
Yep. Unless last minute to save money, to ensure that the greed remains, we will still play, but with conditions.
I doubt. Yeah. Now, don't forget, it's not the ICC trying to convince the PCP.
You have to convince the government.
Exactly.
Good luck with that.
Good luck indeed.
Yeah. We have got more comments. Okay.
Let's see. Naveen Narayan says, I'd see Pak as clowns craving attention. Yes. Tarun Kumar says, Pak will eventually be with some drama. I don't think so, Tarun, because this is not a PCB call.
It's a government
call. So the government aren't going to make a U-turn.
Yeah.
They have no incentive to make a U-turn. Yeah. It's the same as the BCB. No, BCB wanted to play, but the Bangladesh government said no.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
So yep, we will come back with more videos. Okay, a lot of things. Sunil Gavaskar has spoken exclusively to India
so
today.
There's plenty more coming your way. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe, like, share this video with your friends. Tap the bell as well. Stay tuned. Lots more coming your way from Siddharth and me. For now it is.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.